Hey guys, it's Catherine and you're watching CUKpop today, and I think it's appropriate that I make a video on what's happened in the YG universe. So 21 has disbanded, and Taehyun has left Winner and YG. So in April, we find out that Minzy left 21, and that's, when everyone freaked out. Me personally, out of the girls that are in 21, I did not expect Minzy to leave, at all. I didn't think that she would be the one to separate from the group. So that was a very big surprise for me, and I know that tons of Blackjacks were, half were, very sad, but wishing her the best, and half were very angry and just thought that she sort of backstabbed the group, and then YG sort of played it up the reason for 21's downfall was because of Minzy. But we now know that it wasn't only Minzy that did not renew her contract, but Park Bom as well. But YG did not choose to release that information, sort of making Minzy the scapegoat for 21, which, why? Why do you need to do that? There's been enough time for me that I've come to terms with the fact that 21 is over. I think we all saw it coming. It's just interesting that just now, I guess there's not really a good time to announce that 21 is, done, but it's still weird to just kind of drop the bombshell and not really give any hints. There was no, it wasn't like YG kind of let us down slowly. Oh, Minzy left, or Minzy didn't renew her contract, and then later he told us, oh, Park Bom didn't either, which would kind of hint to us, okay, 21 is not a thing anymore. But he just kind of, bam, gave it to us all at once, and that made it very hard. I remember it was 3 in the morning, and I couldn't fall asleep already. But then I go on Twitter, and that's how I found out, and just everyone was just in shock and disbelief. 21 is over, 21 has broken up. So yeah, that definitely did not help me being able to sleep, and I was definitely not in shock, but just sad, because so many groups this year, especially girl groups, have broken up, and just to have another one, and one of the biggest ones, break up at the end of this year, it was just kind of made 2016 a crap year. So Sandara and CL both re-signed with YG, which I kind of figured they would. Sandara will probably do modeling and acting, and CL is going to go on with her music career. But I didn't go to the CL concert at all, and this is also kind of what I'm angry about with YG. But apparently she played 21 songs at the concerts, which if we had some sort of knowledge that really 21 wasn't going to go on, I guess I wouldn't be as mad. And I'm not really mad at CL. It's whoever decided to make our track list, whoever decided to make the set list. But I'm just mad at YG that he would play the fans like that. I didn't go to the concert, but if I had, and I had heard those 21 songs, do you know how pumped I would have been? I would have been so excited, and I would have thought, you know what, 21 can go on as 3, which I was hoping they would. I was hoping that they would go on as 3 and do well. But the fact that they played the songs at the concert, and I feel like that got a lot of people's hopes up, which is not cool at all on YG's part. I think, and I mean, I know CL doesn't have enough songs, which was kind of weird to me. Why would she go on this huge tour when she only has basically 3 songs? So I didn't understand that anyway, but apparently she played 21 songs, so I guess that makes more sense. But that's just another thing that I don't like about YG, is that he did get people's hopes up like that, thinking, oh, 21, will come back. There's no way that CL would play these and get us pumped up, for 21 if they weren't going to come back. So I hope that, all 4 girls, I know Minzy, she's been talking about this for a while, so we don't really know exactly when she's going to come out with her solo stuff, but I hope all the girls do very well in their solo careers. Park Bom will probably be coming back to the States because I don't know if anyone is going to give her a job, which makes me really sad, but I don't know if anyone in Korea will give her a shot at another music career. So most likely she'll be coming back to the States. I really hope to see her again doing music because she's just too great of a talent to lose permanently. Like, her voice is amazing, and it's, you know, half the reason why 21 was so great is because of her vocals. Her and Minzy's vocals were incredible. And I hope Sandara and CL do very well under YG. I think, honestly, YG is a solo artist, kind of a CEO. As we've seen, really the only group that he can keep together is Big Bang. And it's, you know, I think a lot of that is YG. He put them together, he trained them, he worked on them very hard. But a lot of it's Big Bang too. It's, you know, what the members have been willing to go through. It's what they've been, you know, they've pushed themselves through. Because, you know, even for Big Bang, that journey has not been easy. So I think, for the most part, Big Bang is pretty much the only group that YG can keep together. But for the most part, YG seems better, a lot better at managing solo artists. He's done very well with bringing up G-Dragon. He's done very well with Taehyun. He's, you know, given Lehigh a shot. Now he's signed on some new people like Zion T. And I think it's really smart for YG to have these other labels like High Ground, and I think it's like Kush's label, like The Black or something. I think it's really smart that he created those sub-labels because he's drowning. Like, he can't even control 4 groups, much less, you know, a wide scale of groups. So I think it's smart that he created them. So I have a little more hope for those artists that are signed to the sub-labels, because if they were signed directly under YG, we would never see them again. Like Zion T, bye. You know, we're never going to see you again. Lehigh, bye. Akdong, bye. So I'm really glad that he does have the sub-labels, and it's really sad for 21, but I hope them the best on their future endeavors, on their projects. And yeah, so the first news that I got was that 21 had disbanded, which, again, as I've said, it wasn't a big surprise. The fact that they disbanded, it was just kind of, you know, just the day and the time was a little shocking. But I think the thing that makes me most angry, if it was just 21 that had disbanded, then, you know what, I wouldn't be as mad at YG as I am right now. But since we have Nam Taehyun leaving Winner and YG, he didn't just leave Winner. Like, he wasn't just like, oh, I want to leave Winner, but I'll stay under the YG label for now and get some rest. Like, he left Winner and YG, so you know he was just done with the whole thing. He wasn't trying to keep anything up with that. He wasn't trying to keep strings attached. Like, he was done. And it makes me really sad because in YG's statement about Taehyun, just the wording just makes me so angry. Like, they were, you know, trying to make it sound like, oh, we're very sad that Taehyun is leaving. We're very, you know, sad that he will not be part of the YG family anymore. But on one hand, you can't blame us because he does have, you know, these things going on in his life, you know, mental health issues, and we can't let that bring Winner down. What? Like, honestly, it would be kind of the plot twist in my life to know that Winner was the one to kick Taehyun out of Winner. I'm sure if you asked any one of his members, they would have been willing to wait as long as it took if Taehyun would just come back, you know, and work with Winner. I'm sure it wasn't Winner's fault that, like, Taehyun left the group. So I hated how YG worded that and made it sound like, oh, the reason that, you know, Taehyun is leaving is because, you know, he's bringing down Winner. I could see Taehyun maybe saying himself, which I see this sort of being the story of it. I feel like Taehyun himself felt like he was a burden and that he was bringing Winner down. and so he felt like he needed to take himself out of the group and out of the company, which makes me really sad that he feels that he's a burden, because Taehyun, you're not. I'd actually finally, like, I'd been thinking about winter recently, and I was thinking, like, you know what? This isn't bad. Like, waiting for winter, I can do this, because winter is so good, and I love them so much, and I was willing to wait however long it took. I want Taehyun to get better. I want his mental health situation to please, please, please get better. I wanted him to rest as long as it took, because I knew we'd get Minho stuff. We might get Seungyoon stuff. So I was like, you know what? I can wait for Taehyun, and I'm willing to, because I love winter that much. And so I was kind of in this like peaceful state when it came to winter, but then again, this sort of bomb just dropped, and it made me really, really sad that Taehyun is no longer in winter. And then, yet again, here comes Papa YG, and he's sort of making Taehyun out to be the bad guy, like sort of the scapegoat for winter. And I don't know why he does this. Like, YG, we all know you can't fool us as fans. You can't make us think, oh yeah, it was Taehyun's fault. It was Minzy's fault. Like, stop with that. Just please send off your people, respectfully and nicely, and we'll accept it. Like, it makes us very sad, and it already makes us angry with you. So the fact that you just make them out to be the bad guys just makes us even angrier, because we know they're not the bad guys. You are, YG. We're not fools. We know how this game works. We know how companies work, and we know what kind of lives they live. So the fact that, like, they live these rough lives and are basically giving up their lives to your company in the first place, well, if they want to leave, that's very understandable. Like, we as fans understand that. So we're kind of with them already. So why would you, I don't know. Like, I just don't understand YG's thinking in that. And I can't support YG himself. I will support YG artists, but honestly, I'm not in support of YG. I'm not really in support of the company, which I've never felt this way about YG, to be honest. I know a lot of people think that YG is a snake, which he is. But I was sort of in support of YG. I was like, hey, this is a guy. I know he has helpers. I know he has a board, of people and people that he trusts. But this is a guy that basically built this company on his own. He's trying his hardest. He's doing his best. And so I was always sort of in support of YG. And now I'm done. Like, I'm done. I have these same like ill feelings towards like SM as well. SM, I can't support them as a company. I love their artists, obviously, as you can see, but I do not support them as a company at all. So Taehyun was really what kind of made me angry towards YG. It wasn't actually 21, it was Taehyun. And this feels, a lot of people are very upset, are very sad over Taehyun leaving. And some people I've seen like on Twitter, which kind of makes me mad, because it's like, you can't tell a person how they're supposed to feel. But some people like on Twitter are like, Taehyun, he's gonna be fine. Like, he'll be back. He'll be, doing his thing. So why are people so sad? Like, people are acting like he's dead. Well, in a way, it kind of feels almost like he's dead, because we haven't seen him for a while. We know that he's okay. He's written us, a letter he posted on his Instagram. So we know he's okay, like, he's living, he's breathing. But with these mental health issues, we aren't for sure what exactly is wrong with him. So we don't know if it's like depression, suicidal thoughts, if there really is some mental illness, like, oh, he just found out he had schizophrenia, or he had, some debilitating illness. We aren't sure, so it kind of freaks us out, I feel like. And now that he's left Winter and he's left YG, it almost feels, obviously he'll stay in touch with the boys, he'll stay in touch with his members, but as Winter goes on, I mean, they're not going to be with Taehyun 24/7 anymore. So it's like, we know he's with his family, but he doesn't really have anyone else. So I don't know, it's just kind of a scary situation for us fans right now. Like, we feel scared for him. We don't know if he's gonna come back. There's nothing that says Taehyun will come back and do music. I mean, there's nothing. He has not made music for a while now, and he's obviously really, really hurting. So, like, we don't know if he's gonna come back and make music, or if he just might pull himself out of this, the celebrity, the idol world once and for all. So I think this is kind of more heartbreaking than 21, because Taehyun was sort of young and in his prime, and so we don't know, like, if he's gonna keep doing this, and if he doesn't, it'll just be so sad, because he is such an amazing talent, and he has such an incredible voice, and not only that, he's a songwriter, he's a composer, so, like, it would just be tragic if he never made music again, and I would be so, so sad. So that happened, and I know we have to move on, but it's been kind of all I've been thinking about for like the last 24 hours. I've been really upset with both of the news, and I don't know. It's just like a lot of emotions. It's been really making me sad to see other fans, especially Blackjack fans. I can't even imagine. I mean, I was a 21 fan, and I like their songs. I like their music. I know their albums. I watch them live and everything. But I mean, I've only been a K-pop fan for a little over a year now, and so it hasn't been like I've been a Blackjack for years and years. For the whole time that they've been out and about. Like, I've not been a Blackjack for very long, and even then, I'm not a hardcore Blackjack, so I can't even understand what it would be like to completely lose a group that you love. And it kind of freaks me out because we've lost a lot of groups this year, a lot of historic groups. It's not just like, oh, we lost, a couple new girl groups because, oh, they're just not doing well, or the members are all too busy or something. Or it's not an IOI situation. Like, IOI, they slayed it this year. I don't understand how anyone else could do any better. They did very well this year, but they were only a year thing, so, they're breaking up. Okay, it's not really sad, though, because they're young. We didn't really get to know them over a period of time, so it's not the same. So, like, for fans that are fans of 21 or Kara, or 4 Minute really got me. Like, that made me really sad. Like, I just can't even understand what they're feeling, because these women have been around for years. Like, they were closing in on a decade, and now they're just gone. Like, gone. I know their music will still be around, but it's still such a bummer because they'll never make new music anymore. It also makes me sad because, especially like with Shinhwa coming up with a new album, it made me think about like just the fact that Shinhwa or older boy bands, I know TVXQ hasn't made anything for a while because they're in the military, but older boy bands, or girl groups that are still doing the thing, I think it's great because it lets younger K-pop fans, or just brand new K-pop fans, doesn't mean you have to be like 15 or anything, you could be 28-year-old that just got into K-pop, but it just lets new fans know, like, hey, these groups still exist, and there's a reason your new boy bands and girl groups are doing so well, and they're global now. It's because of all the hard work that all these older bands went through. And like, I feel like the more and more first and second generation bands break up, that's just less information that new K-pop fans have. They'll, not a lot of people will take the time to research, or go back and listen to old Shinhwa albums. But hey, if they come out with a new album, maybe they're more willing to listen to them, and then they learn about them, and then they look back at the history of them. So it's just kind of like domino effect, and I feel like the more we lose these groups, like, it's just all gonna be young people now, which is fine, and the young people are amazing, but I don't know, like, you need to know where you came from. I'm very very opinionated on this fact. Like, you need to know where you came from before you can move forward. And it really irks me when like new K-pop fans, or maybe they're not even new K-pop fans, but they're just young kids that don't understand that, and they're just like, oh, BTS, for example, which I strongly feel that BTS are one of the greatest groups in K-pop. I really do feel that. But I understand that they're one of the greatest groups because of this, and this, because of what everyone else before them has done. So I understand that, but I hate it when people are like, yeah, GFriend is the greatest girl group of all time, and no one else have done what they've done. All right, yeah, they have. GFriend, BTS, EXO. A lot of people think EXO are like some historic, amazing group. EXO's historic, I guess you could say, in all the charts they've won. I mean, topped all the music shows they've won. They've, had a world tour now. I guess that's historic. I wouldn't really even call that historic. But EXO have really not done anything new for the K-pop world. It seems like they have, and I feel like that's only because K-pop has become more global. So a lot of people say like, oh, EXO did that. Like EXO helped K-pop become more global. Not really. I mean, you put some cute boys that can sing and dance on a YouTube screen, and like, okay, like, it's not hard, especially with all the technology we have. Whereas like back in the day, even in like the 2000s, late 90s, like these boy bands and girl groups had nothing. Like they didn't have the amazing technology that we have, so that you can spread all your music videos, all your songs, nationwide or, worldwide. They didn't have all that. They just had to do it one fan meet at a time, one local concert at a time. They maybe got to travel to Japan or China. They could maybe branch out, but even then they weren't really welcomed. They had to work their butts off to make K-pop what it is today. And like, your faves are getting all the reward from that. And now the old guys are pushed to the side and are breaking up, or just really aren't making music anymore. And it's just so sad to see, and it makes me really upset when new K-pop fans, or just K-pop fans in general, don't see that. So sorry to go on my little rant, but I just feel so strongly about that, especially because I'm not a long-time K-pop fan, but a lot of my favorite bands are older bands. So I see, the way that people look at older bands and don't really, listen to them anymore. And it just kind of makes me a little sad. I can understand if you just genuinely don't. Like, I understand if you're like, I don't really like TVXQ. Like, their music doesn't impress me. Okay, I understand that. Like, I'm not saying you have to love every single older band or anything. I'm just saying give them the respect that they deserve. I wish 21 well. I wish Taehyun well, and Winner. If Winner, which I'm hoping they do, if Winner goes on as 4, I really, really, really hope that they do well. I hope that the inner circle still supports them. I hope Taehyun, like people that stand Taehyun and he was their bias, I really hope that they stay with Winner. I know there's probably a lot of girls out there and guys that kind of the whole reason they were with Winner was because of Taehyun. But please, please, please support Winner. If they come out as 4, I will support them with all my being. I love Winner, and I think this is such a shame. But these are still 4 boys that worked hard to get where they are, and they're all very talented. So, they'll bring it. So please, please, please support Winner. And in the comments below, please tell me your thoughts and your opinions on this whole YG situation. You can, talk about 21, talk about your favorite songs of theirs, talk about Taehyun and how much you loved him, and why you started loving him. And, give your opinions on YG and the company in general. And if you think, he will do a good job in the future, or if you think he's going to keep letting artists slip through. And like this video, subscribe, follow me on Tumblr and Twitter. Those are down below. And thanks for watching CUKpopToday, and have a good day.